Welcome, greetings and salutations. Now, welcome to Southtown SD. We're going to talk about the American Bully. The American Bully. Going to dispel any myths, any rumors. So, a lot of people claim to have created this dog. Not a lot of people, a few people. Um, and the truth of the matter is that the American Bully has always existed. It wasn't created or bred by anyone. Simply, the term, the category wasn't really phrased. There was always just, hey, that dog's bully, man. That's a bully. Every litter already had, um, a bullier, overdone dog that it was producing from the beginning. It's just those were the dogs that didn't use. They used, of course, the game dogs. So that all that being said, I'll explain a little bit more of the history. So the American Bully and any bully today, pocket bully, exotic, um, the one thing that they all have in common is the um, the American Pit Bull Terrier. So that's the one dog that they all have in common, right? That being said, if you don't know, the American Pit Bull Terrier was has been around for over 100 years and is also considered a found breed from Europe. All these dogs are European dogs that were brought here, and so I mean we can cover many topics, but I'm just condensing a lot of information to make it simple. Uh, and to get to the American Bully. So the American Pit Bull Terrier for years was bred in ADBA, ADOA, and UKC, AKC. Of course, like, hundreds of years, I mean, not hundreds, about 80, 90 to 100 years ago. Maybe a little few, maybe not so far, maybe 60, 70 years ago. There was a separation of where they started breeding the Amstaffs and breeding out the aggression, breeding out those behaviors. They got a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker. And I believe just because it was a different type of conditioning, it was show conditioning, not game conditioning. And so as these dogs evolved, another thing, and again, and just to make it clear, I don't condone any type of dog fighting or cruelty to animals, but that's what these dogs did. They were fighting dogs, but being that they fought each other, they were specifically trained to not be aggressive to humans. They would only attack each other. Like a pit, when a pit's attacking another dog, if you try and break it up, more than likely that pit's not going to bite you trying to bite the other dog, but most of the dogs are going to bite anything that's attacking them. So that was bred into the pit, and also for them to not be human aggressive. So when people say these dogs are naturally human aggressive, it was bred in them for over 100 years not to be that way. They have to be made that way by either neglect or mistreatment, um, or inbreeding. So if you inbreed a dog, it can also cause temperament issues, especially if the dog, if you keep breeding a dog that is human aggressive, you're going to keep bringing that trait. So many times, any dogs that displayed those characteristics or behaviors were never bred, and probably usually at that time eliminated from their program, and maybe from existence. I don't know. But so the years go by, and the American Bully name starts being thrown around 2002, 2003, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit later. But they've always existed. The dogs have always been around. There's always been in a litter of pit bulls a dog, usually a male, sometimes females too, that had an extremely larger head, wider frame, just looked more bulldog. Had carried more of the bulldog traits, and so when you had people breeding those to each other, of course you double up on those traits as well as the bad. But basically, the dog starts to change and become a different type of dog, because then you start, with the years come by, you start breeding that breed type. So you get more consistency on the head size, more consistency on the girth, the bone, shorter backs. Um, you know, there's all these different changes, but the main thing that most of the bully breeders being that, well, all breeders, they don't want a dog that's aggressive, but especially even dog aggressive. So a lot of these dogs, oh, and just to clarify, so then yeah, so even the pit bull would be great with people. They just didn't like other dogs, especially other pit bulls. So you had to keep them separate or controlled, and which isn't too hard because they're very obedient. But then when you have a dog who's friendly and can get along with all and any other dogs, then that's even better. That's more ideal for a family, for people living in the inner city, or just that want peace in their life. They don't need a dog aggressive dog. There's really no necessity for that unless you're protecting unless you have a property you need protected, um, outdoors or in a ranch or farm or something like that. That's where that would apply. Or if you're the dog's protecting you, if you're out on a hunt or somewhere out of the city, but it wouldn't really apply anymore in the city life. Again, other than a guard dog to keep people off your property. Um, so as the breedings continued, these dogs were friendlier um, with each other, uh, which made them easier to control and more appealing to the average person, even though they looked tough. And a lot of times these dogs looked even more intimidating than the original pit because they were bigger. But most of them were friendlier, didn't have the same drive. Now, again, this is not every dog. There's always exceptions. There's tons of blue dogs with drive and aggression or with the old school blood, but we're speaking in terms of the majority. And so for anybody to say, oh man, I created the American Bully, it's ridiculous. The American Bully has been around. Wasn't created by Dave Wilson. Wasn't created by anyone else claiming to create the American Bully. And that's just the truth. That's just a fact. I had a discussion this weekend with, I've had this discussion several times with many breeders, but this last weekend with Oscar Gomez, with George Luna, with Skip Miller, and man, we all agree. So, again, the only difference is the dog just didn't have that name, the category, as far as in the show rings, as far as in registries. But when it comes to an actual breed or a breed, they were already around. They've always been around. They just didn't have a name. They just didn't have a place. So I'm just making this video short. I'll probably expand on it a little bit more or see if there's any questions or reactions to it. But bottom line, the American Bully has always been around. The very first sanctioned bully show, like I mentioned in another podcast, was in 2004, thrown by Larry Duran of Blue Nation at the Pomona Fairgrounds. And that's it, man. So the American Bully was not created by any one person, by any group, organization, or program. It's always been here. The American Bully has always been here. All right, I'm out.